My nose ain't always be doing this all the time. What's up, peoples? Say what's up.
What's up?
So we just went to see the Kevin Hart movie because last night
Was a mess.
Was a freaking disaster.
It was.
A freaking disaster.
Will you tell your story?
Okay, so of course it starts off. We didn't have reservations to the restaurant that we wanted to go to, and yeah, so we didn't get in. Went to another
we
restaurant.
had fun trying.
Went to another. It was fun for him.
Well, it's still.
We went to another restaurant, and it was an hour and a half wait. And
we went to
Susie,
1, 2, 3.
Susie looked at me like her saying an hour and a half wait was gonna be fine with me. Girl, bye. She looked at me like. I was like, oh no, I cannot sit here for an hour and a half and wait for some
a couple of places.
Yeah, then we went to Outback Steakhouse. It was so many people at Outback Steakhouse, it was a line out the door. We didn't even stop there because you couldn't even get in the parking lot. It was so, I mean, you could get in the parking lot, but you were not going to park. So we drove right on out of there. Where else did we go? We went to the Dead Fish. We went to Nantucket. We went to Outback Steakhouse. That was it?
That was about it. I mean, by that time, it was already... I mean, to go out... Nantucket and Dead Fish, they're right together. So, you can't go to one without the other. They're right over there in Crockett. And... Crockett is like right... Well, I'm not going to do a geographic
because
anyway.
They don't know.
So, by the time we end up getting back over to where we normally hang out at, it was already late. And so we just figured, okay, we'll just go to the show. Now, mind you, we got there around 9 o'clock or so.
We did eat.
And, oh yeah, we just went to Popeyes, had something to eat. And, hey, I thought it was going to be fast food anyway. But we went there, got something to eat. And then we headed on over to the show. Because, we're going to watch the show and kick this night off in a nice way. Get there, it's 9 o'clock. That show sold out. The one after it, so I forget. It was like two shows that were sold out. So we figured, okay, well, why don't we? Because Babe was like, okay, we may as well just count our losses right now.
Yeah,
and
I was
go
like,
into the
let's
house.
just go home because the next one didn't start until 10, and I really wanted to go home, but I didn't want to push the issue. And I think because we didn't get the dinner right, so he really wanted, to go to the movies.
Let's just do something.
But I was like, let's just scratch this shit. So let's talk about what happened at the movies.
So we decided, I said, why don't we just stay? Because it was about an hour, a little bit more than an hour. But I said, realistically, we hang out for about 10, 15, 20 minutes or so. They're going to let us in. We go in there and, we'll be sitting in. And we were thinking that. And so we're like, okay, so we go in there and this is a big theater. It's kind of like one of the newer AMC modern theaters. And I never noticed that it's always smoky, like they burn the popcorn. But Babe, she said this is the second time they've done this.
Okay, this is the second time that I've been there. And it's either their ventilation system is not working well, we're in the concession area, because you can literally see the smoke in the theater, in the concession area, and it comes out to farther than the concession area. And I'm an asthmatic, so all of that burnt popcorn smell, smoke in the air bothers me. So I just, for one, I wasn't feeling that. Once I started smelling that burnt, it smelled like the popcorn was burnt, and you could see all that smoke and stuff. I was ready to go. But Babe, come on.
No, well, by the time I went over to get a cup of coffee, I said, let me go get some coffee. And I did that. And by the time, you went and sat down.
Yeah, I was sitting kind of far away from it.
You were sitting off.
I wasn't really tripping.
So by the time I got the coffee, which took forever, it literally took me 20 some odd minutes just to get a cup of coffee because there was two people it was two people in front of me, and it took 20 minutes just to give me a cup of coffee. Once I got the coffee, I saw this line forming. Now, the line wasn't organized or anything. It was just people were just lining up in just this mass array all across the lobby. And there was no direction or anything like that. So I get Babe and I say, hey, they're starting to line up. Let's get on over there. We get over there, and it's hot as hell there. I got on the sweater and the leather coat. I'm sweating and everything else. But there's other people just, they're fanning, and you can see people.
It was hot. It was really hot.
Damn, it's hella hot in here.
Okay, what happened was, while Babe was over there getting a coffee, or had went to the bathroom, or I think I went to the bathroom.
I went to the bathroom.
Security guard said, okay, everybody line up over there. Well, we was already in a line. And when he said, everybody move over there, people just bum rushed. So people was like pushing and shoving, trying to get in front of other people in the line. Instead of just moving the line over, people just went stupid. So it was people exiting the theater, and then people trying to line up. It was just mass.
A big cluster.
Just a big cluster of people. Just people push. And I don't like to be touched by strangers. Don't push me. Don't bump up against me. Don't do nothing. Just give me 50 feet when we out in public. I don't like for people to be pushing me and all that kind of stuff. And to me, it's sad when men don't have no respect for women. I mean, damn, you want to see the movie that bad that you just push a woman out the way so you can get in front of her? I'm like, well, damn. So when they moved the line over, we all just bunched up together. It was hot as hell. In the area, Babe was sweating. I was grumpy because of that transition thing. So he was like, do you want to go? And I was like, yeah, because this is getting on my nerves. And then there was another, like, probably 15 or 20 minutes that we was going to have to wait before we even got in the theater.
Yeah, because they hadn't even opened the theater.
They hadn't even opened the doors.
But
we
see,
were in line.
I mean, we weren't the first people to think that, because when we were going into the theater, there was already a mass line in front of the customer service because they were getting refunds. People just weren't happy.
But what happened was they had closed down one of the theaters and had moved and didn't tell the people. It was a sign on the door, but the door was open. So people didn't see the sign. And they were sitting in the theater waiting for the movie to start, and the movie never started. And this dude went to the bathroom, and he saw the sign on the door, was like, oh my God. So the movie had already started in the other theater, and the people had missed the first part of the movie. That's why a lot of them were standing there getting their money back and stuff.
Well, I mean, we just decided, hell, we're gonna go because I mean there was no order in the theater at all. It was just a mass cluster. They had one dude that I guess was one security guard that I seen. He was the one that was kind of like directing traffic, but he wasn't doing shit. And the management wasn't doing anything. It was just a real big cluster. But anyway, it was all unorganized and disarray. So I said, well, come on, let's get out of here. So we went and got our refund and we left. And that was the end of that evening. So today we decided to go down to Shattuck in Berkeley because it was more laid back.
And we saw the movie.
We finally saw the movie. Now, mind you, this one we went to the matinee and there was only, 7 people in the theater?
Yeah, we damn near had the theater to ourselves. Alright, so we'll be back because I don't know what we're doing right now. So
we're headed to the Dead Fish.
So we're finally going to go eat. So I'll probably take pictures of the Dead Fish and then we might record there too. Bye.